Hey guys, what's up? I continue with my art and culture series. We have already seen intro, we have seen dances 2.1 and 2.2. I am not putting 2.3 now because you have not asked me to. So we start with something called as Indian philosophy today. That is part 3.1 presented by Unacademy and here conceptualized by me. This is me, got 18th rank this year, and if you want to read more about me, this is my Facebook page, sir and ma'am, facebook.com/romansani.official. Message your query within 24 hours. I will destroy your doubt destroyer within 24 hours. So we start with something I called as Indian philosophy, or also called as Hindu philosophy, whatever word you might encounter in your examination. So we start with it. Major sources of it are, they've been developing for more than 2000 years now. So major sources are Upanishads. Upanishad literally means to sit near, that is to sit near Guru and gain knowledge. Then also developed in later Vedic period, and they have been developing and evolving for past 2 millennia, that is 2000 years. Then there are two types of school. First is orthodox or Astic school. It has nothing to do with God. Astic does not mean God. Or the non-orthodox school, Nastic school. This simply means that if Vedas are considered as an infallible source of knowledge or not. That is the meaning of Astic and Nastic here. The six orthodox schools are there. They are Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Samkhya, Yoga, Purva Mimansa, and Uttar Mimansa. Vedanta is also called as Uttar Mimansa. Please open your head and listen. The heterodox school are Jainism, Buddhism, and materialism, that is Charvak. This is called as Charvak. Then various schools have perished, some have survived. So few of which are survived are, obviously we know, Jainism, Buddhism, Shaivism, and Advaitism. It is a part of Vedanta only, while Samkhya school and Ajivika school, they did not survive. So what is a philosopher according to Sanskrit or Hindi? Philosopher is Darshanik, who is familiar with the systems of philosophy, that is darshans. Is that understood? This was the basic intro of Indian philosophy or Hindu philosophy. Then we have certain common points which are common to all of them. That is, first, philosophy is, these common points are all six schools I am talking about plus the three heterodox school. So philosophy is a practical necessity. It is needed, sir. Without it, we cannot survive. And to lead the best life possible, optimum life, what we called as. It is needed to know the purpose of life, why we are here and what we have to do with this life which we have been given, and whether there is God or not, whether what is reason, what is analysis, what is epistemology, what is hermeneutics. So these are the things which these people used to think about. Then how will study of these philosophies serve human ends, that is purushartha. So this is the second important point. Whenever they deal with any philosophy, the only thing they have in mind is whether it will serve human ends or not. Then we have something called as application of analysis is there in each and every one of them. Logic, rationalism to metaphysical problems. They are not problems like कि यहाँ पानी नहीं आता, there is no electricity. These are not the problems. Problems are whether one should be ethical or not, whether one should be moral or not, what is the purpose of life, if we have access, should we feed the poor or we should keep for ourselves. So these are the metaphysical problems. And after applying LAR, that is logic, analysis, and rationalism to metaphysical problems and inquiring about the nature of reality, they also used to determine the structure and function of human psyche and the relationship between them, and how to utilize this relationship or this knowledge to achieve something called as human salvation, also called as moksha or moksha. And the final thing which all of these emphasized upon was a natural law, that is called as dharma. It codified as to how live life on earth and how life should be lived. The sages, the sants, they urged human beings to follow these advices of these philosophers and these schools. These were the common points to all these schools. First school is Samkhya or Sankhya, whatever you called is. Those of you who know Hindi, it means enumeration school. It was founded by sage Kapila and it is strongly dualist. You all know dualism, that is soul and mind. Here mind is this, Prakriti, soul and mind on one hand and the reality on other hand. There is dualism everywhere. So here the dualism is two realities, that is Purusha is the consciousness, and Prakriti is the phenomenal realm of matter, that is something called as materialism, or which is tangible. You can't touch Purusha but you can touch Prakriti, that is tangible. Then something called as Jeev. Jeev is that state in which Purush is bonded to Prakriti. Extremely important. These are the questions which are being asked. Via desire. It is Spreha. And the end of this bondage is Moksha. And end of this bondage is with Moksha. Please understood these things. Please understand, they are asked in the examination. Then Sankhya denies the final cause of Ishwar or God. Is that understood? Sankhya denies the final cause of Ishwar or God. They do not believe that there is God or not. Then there is no description of after moksha state. See, moksha to mil gaya, we have got moksha, but what after it? There is no description of it, nor they talk about God or Ishvara. So this was the first school, that is Sankhya. Then we have the second school, that is Nyaya school, the school of logic. Nyaya means logic here. Then we have something called as Nyaya Sutras, that is the codification of these logics, and it was founded by Akspada Gautama. Is that understood? Then they have something called as methodology to prove existence of God. See, this is important now. But they use LAR, that is logic, analyticism and rationalism. They are based on Vedas and system of logic. This system of logic is adopted by other schools as well, so it's important. Then they believe in something called as credible and valid knowledge only. Only way to obtain release from suffering is by valid and credible knowledge. So identifying valid sources of knowledge is not easy, and to distinguish them from mere false opinions, they had to took a lot of pain and suffering in that. So Nyaya deals with both epistemology. Epistemology means study of knowledge, nature, scope and theory of knowledge. In addition, it also deals with logic. So these are the two components of Nyaya school. The four sources of knowledge according to Nyaya school are: first is pramanas, that is perception, inference, comparison and testimony. So these are the four basic things how which valid knowledge can be acquired. Even after applying these four, invalid knowledge is still possible, so that has to be deleted, and a number of explanatory schemes have been developed by them to reach to this valid or credible knowledge. So Nyaya is probably the closest Indian equivalent to contemporary analytic philosophy of West. So please understand, this is an extremely important school. So we move on to our third school of the day, that is Vaisheshika. Not much important, just remember this. It is closely associated with Nyaya school and eventually they fuse together. Is that understood? It is dealing with Vaisheshika, literally means atom, that is infinitely small, which cannot be divided further. So all objects in the physical universe are reducible to a finite number of atoms. Sage Kannad developed it. And what is the difference between Nyaya school and Vaisheshika school? Nyaya school talks about four sources of valid knowledge, while Vaisheshika just talks about two, that is perception and inference. Not very important, but just remember they fuse together with Nyaya school and they believe in only and only two sources of valid knowledge. Then an important school, Mimansa school, also called as Purva Mimansa. So it has the sole purpose of inquiry into the nature of dharma and based on hermeneutics. See, hermeneutics means interpretation of Bible, Gita, Quran, which are not literally, but their crux or their gist is taken up. So interpretation of the Vedas in this sense. So they deal with inquiry of nature of dharma based on hermeneutics. So this is not accessible via reason. Is that understood? Not accessible via reason or observation. So it must be inferred or concluded from authority of Vedas. What is revealed in them is eternal, they are authorless, and they are infallible. That is, they cannot be questioned. Both atheistic and theistic tendencies are available, so that's not an issue. They are not really interested in existence of God, but rather in the character of dharma. See, dharma is nothing to do with religion. Okay, so this is a very common misconception. Let me teach you something about dharma. Dharma has nothing to do with religion. It is code of conduct, sir and ma'am. It is a code of conduct to lead a dignified life. That's it, nothing else, nothing more. And then religion is a part of it, but religion and dharma are not interchangeable. Is that understood? Then the core tenets of Purva Mimansa or Mimansa school are ritualism, anti-asceticism. They do not believe कि जंगल जाओ और मजे करो. They do not believe in that philosophy. They do not want you to leave society. They are against asceticism and they are against mysticism and snake charmers and potions, and they are against all of these things. So elucidation of the nature of dharma is the major aim of this school, that is Mimansa or Purva Mimansa. Then we finally move to the most important school of all, that is Vedanta or Uttar Mimansa. So Vedanta is Uttar Mimansa. It is somewhat opposite to Purva Mimansa or Mimansa. So Vedanta literally means conclusion of the Vedas. It is the most prominent and philosophically advanced of the orthodox schools. Please remember it. It is the most advanced school among the orthodox I am talking about. So it includes philosophical traditions and it is concerned with interpreting the three basic texts of Hindu philosophy. Please make sure you know them: Upanishads, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. These are the three which Vedanta deals with. Now there are 10 branches of Vedanta, but 3 you must remember are Advait Vedanta, Vishisht Advait and Dvait. Advait, Dvait and Vishisht Advait. Then Vedanta is something called as Uttar Mimansa. It also means later or higher inquiry. What Purva Mimansa? Purva means earlier or former. So former inquiry is Purva Mimansa, while later or higher inquiry is Vedanta. So Purva Mimansa explains fire sacrifices of the Vedic mantras in the Samhita portion of the Vedas and Brahmanas, while Vedanta throws light on the esoteric teachings of Aranakyas. What are Aranakyas? Aranyak literally means forest. So what is written in forest is forest books. They are called as Aranakyas. Is that understood? The Aranakyas are the forest scriptures. So Vedanta is most prominent, philosophically oriented school, most developed school, deals with Brahma Sutra, Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita. Then please remember these 3 names, extremely important in Hindu philosophies, otherwise also: Shankara, Ramanuja and Madhavacharya. So the last school which is left is Yoga. This is the 6th school in Orthodox I am talking about. So the first mention comes in Buddhist Nikayas. It was developed by Patanjali. Yoga are, please remember this definition, physical, mental and spiritual practices or disciplines transforming and transcending body and mind. Just remember this, it can be physical, mental or spiritual. So the physical part, which was popularized by Swami Vivekananda in 19th and 20th century in West, it was a system of physical exercise. They are called as Hatha Yoga. Yoga is popular in both Hinduism and Buddhism and Jainism, and yoga described human existence as 3 bodies and 5 sheets which cover the Atma, and energy flow through energy channels and concentrated in chakras. Please remember these keywords, यही पूछेंगे, यही आता है. Then Raj Yoga is divided into, also called as classical yoga, also called as Ashtanga yoga. So it is form of meditation, that is mental and spiritual component. Please look here, mental and spiritual components in which the mind is trained to be focused at one point. That is the single most important thing. So it aims at the calming of the mind using a succession of steps, and if you are very good at it, you might achieve the ultimate blissful state culminating in samadhi. So these were the 6 orthodox schools of Hindu philosophy, and we are still left with folk dances. So if you want me to make this video, please let me know. And also we have various components of art and culture being left. So this is it for this video. So this is our channel Unacademy. Click here to subscribe, and any query you can ping me at my Facebook page, that is facebook.com/myname romansani.official. You can tweet to me at my Twitter handle at romansani. See, the thing is, time is less, so if you want me to make video, do tell me the topic, I'll make on it. There is no issue. There is not a single topic on which I cannot teach you. So best of luck and have an awesome day. Thank you for watching.